Hello and welcome in, everyone. I'm your host, Code Wonderland, and today we're playing some more Comet 64. Now, if you haven't been watching this series, you should really check out the previous videos. We've been having a ton of fun with this so far. It's basically just a puzzle programmer game, all in the style of if you owned a Commodore 64 back in the 80s. Not really, but kind of, sort of. It's kind of assembly, but we'll get into it very quickly. Our question that we're starting off with for today. Read 3 input values in a row. Output the middle of the 3 numbers. Repeat. Consult the user manual on the usage of switch. So we definitely want to be using switch. Let's grab our... Wait. Hold on. Oh, I mean, this seems pretty easy. Int equals input. Reg equals input. Int equals input. Or do you mean middle mathematically? I mean, I guess we're about to find out. Yeah, you mean middle mathematically. Got it. Okay, so pull back this code then. So we need the middle number. And we're using a switch here, aren't we? Are we not? Oh no, because we just discard it. So we'll start off the same. We'll get int into input. We'll get reg into input. We'll check if int is greater than reg. Determine if we go to calc with int or calc with reg. So if we're calculating with int, we switch int equals input, jump to calc greater, switch reg. Alright. So here is where we need to change, I think. So we're checking to see which one's greater. Man, I'm getting all turned around here. I'm just like staring at the code thinking like, wait, what? What am I looking at? What am I doing? Am I overthinking this? Probably. So what does it mean to be the middle of 3 numbers? We really got to break this down into the fundamental mathematics here. So to check to see if 3 numbers are in the middle, or if if one number is in the middle of 2 other numbers, and we only have 2 variables at a time. So I can check, so we have A, B, and C. I can check if A is greater than B. And then right now, I'm taking B. Let's say A is greater than B. We take B, we put it in the switch for now, for later, so that we can compare it. We move. So we just ignore that for a second. So we have B off to the side. Then we compare A and C. So we know A is greater than B. If it's greater than C, then it's not the middle number. And so we can assign B to where A was. Got it. And then we compare those two, and we get the greater? Yeah, I think so. So, I don't know if that made sense describing it, but we're gonna try it for a second. So, we check to see if int is greater than reg. If it is, we go to calc with reg. Otherwise, we go to calc with int. Then we switch the lower into here. We calc the greater. Jump if true to switch int. Otherwise, and so we'll have switch int, and then check. Okay, so switch this should be switch reg then. Switch reg, switch int, switch int. And then we have calc lower is where we want to go. So jump to, oh no, we still want to calc greater. No, we want to calc greater again. So calc int greater than reg, jump if true, output int. I think that's what we need. Let's run that. First operand calc, line 32. Oh, it's check, not calc. Line 27. Jump 2. And then calc greater again. Beautiful, we passed. Okay. Also, I sat and I stared for a minute there on the previous, what was it? Was it heads and tails? Heads and tails. Because I was getting frustrated with the idea of putting in like 4 more lines of code for the jump to the end. And I was like, alright, does this work as a return statement? Because I've been wondering about that for a minute. And it did, or so I thought. And I tried it in other places and I wondered why it didn't work. The answer, the reason why it didn't work, after examining some of the other stuff compared to this, where it didn't work, this is only looking for one output. I can put 20 other outputs in there. They don't care. They're not looking for that. They're looking for the first output that I put out. So, if I put out multiple ones, if I, do output equals draw, then output equals heads, or output equals tails, or if I jump to output heads and I do output equals heads, output equals tails, the first output will always be right. So if they're only looking for one output, we can in fact snip off those extra lines, and that is helpful, especially for something like this where we would have had to add 3-4 extra lines. It would have been at least 1, 2, 3 extra lines. Still messy. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. Alright, let's go to this. Read all values from input and find the greatest of them all. Output only that. So, int equals input. Do I need a loop for this? I may or may not. I probably don't. So int equals input, check, reg greater than input, jump if false, end. Check null. And so if the reg is greater, no. If the reg is less than the input, then we overwrite reg. Reg equals int. And we actually want to do check reg is less than int, not input. And then check null. Check input equals null. If false, and output equals reg, end. Where am I missing? Line 1, always. Look at that. Oh. Well, you know, I thought I was doing great. Expected -1. Oh, because they were all negatives. Got it. I bet you. If I reran it when there's a single positive. Are they only going to give me negatives? I bet you they're only going to give me negatives. Wow, that's mean. Okay. So then I do need to add a loop then. Loop. And we'll do reg equals negative, I don't know, 500. Something dumb. Jump to loop. Line 1 again. I'm like allergic to putting a semicolon on line 1. Yeah, we passed. I was hoping to save a few lines. We could do it in 2 less lines. That's interesting. Oh, I see how. Hold on. Get rid of these. Because otherwise we're just outputting. We don't need to do anything after that. Look at that. Not quite the number of cycles. Let's, I bet you that's just situational. 215. Nah, that's about as close as we get. Alright. We got one more here. Read the input value and output the whole Fibonacci sequence up to, but not exceeding, that number. Example, input 64. Output 1, 1, 2, 3, add Fibonacci up to 64. Okay. Alright. So it does include, just not exceed. So, let's see. I mean, first we want to get the input. So let's think about this. I know I'm going to need some kind of a loop again, for sure. Because I need to do this for each single one of these. So I'm going to... I like the idea of making a little loop tag here. Just to kind of keep that. Alright. Let's see. So... what is our loop here? I know from doing Fibonacci in college that the first step is usually just outputting a 1. And you might as well just go ahead and assign that to a variable. So int equals 1, output equals int. Alright, then let's go into our loop here. Let's see, so we want to output 1 for each of these, so output equals int. Then int equals int plus reg. Wait, no, that's the input. So let's switch reg. Also, I've forgotten all of my semicolons, as always. Alright, so switch reg, because we don't need it for now. Did we switch reg here? Because we need 3 variables, effectively. Because we need to keep the current... the current number, the previous number, and then the max number. Because you make the Fibonacci sequence by adding the previous number to the max number. So you always just start off with an extra 1, because then you need the 1 plus the current number 1 to make 2, then 1 plus 2 equals 3, 2 plus 3, 5, so on and so forth. But then we need a third variable to compare to at the end of the day. So I'm thinking we switch the reg so that we have that backed up. And then reg equals input again? No, not reg equals input. This is interesting. Why is my brain breaking? Why is it every time I look at these problems, my brain just goes kaputs? So output equals int. We have a 1. We have a singular 1. So we've outputted at this point. If we haven't looped any time at all, you know, we're just looking at this. Then we've outputted 1 to the console one time, and then we output it a second time. We don't want to be adding this to itself. My brain is so gone. Wait a second, hold on. Golden spiral. The Fibonacci sequence, it follows the rule of the golden number as well, right? We might not need 3 variables for this, because that's like a thing in nature. I'm trying to think back to like early college. So there's like the golden number, and in nature I think that that's like 137 degrees. So like if you look at like a plant, the offset of one leaf to the next leaf on a stalk should roughly be 137 degrees around. So is it like 1.37? No, because then we wouldn't get... We would get 1. Okay, hold on. So I need to swap this around. Int equals input. Reg equals 1. Output equals reg. Semicolons. Loop. Let's put a little extra space here for visual purposes. Output equals reg. Then reg equals reg times 1.37. Let me double check that is. I think that's the number. I'm pretty sure that's the number. Int check int check reg greater than int. That's what we need. No, hold on. My brain is broken. So if we've swapped int now, then we can make int equal reg. Reg equals int. Now we've snipped off any excess. We've got whole numbers. Then we switch int back. Check reg is greater than int. Jump if true end. Jump to loop end. Right? Am I crazy? I got ones? I only got ones? Wait a second. Oh wait, no, that's not right. That's not right. Because then I would never... Hold on. What's the golden number? Let's pull this up real quick. I don't want, I mean, maybe the Wikipedia page has it for me. Is that it? 1.618? Alright. Alright. So let me come over here. So we got 1.618. So let's just put that into our code here for like reference, because I feel like that's just gonna help me here. So, excuse me, game. 1.618. Do I need to go further than that? I feel like I probably don't. Our register only goes to one. Is it one or two or three? I don't know how many decimal places it actually goes now. That might be important. Because, I mean, you can't generally, like... I can't just type this number out forever. It's not going to calculate after a certain point. Because it would just take way too much memory. So most programs cut that off after a certain point. God, I feel like the two wires in my brain are like slowly starting to spark together. So let's see. I mean, hold on. First of all, let's just put 618 here. Let's run that. Why are we still... Oh, because we're flooring it. Do I need to multiply it by 16 and like divide it by 10? To mess with that rounding error? No. Wait a second. Wait, what if I go the other way? Hold on. Maybe I'm like truly losing it here. So if I'm reducing that, then I need to multiply it here by 10? By 100? By 1,000? I think by 100. Hey! Alright, hold on. Let's see if we can clean this. Hey, we got 14 lines. Look at that. We got less cycles. Beautiful. Alright. I'm just going to leave golden number there. Do I need... Oh, also, we have a code. Look at that. We have a 4 now. Beautiful. We could probably brute force our way through to the final file now if we really wanted to. Yeah, I mean, that seems about right. Wait. Give me a second here. Does that work? So we're multiplying it by the golden number, multiplying it by 100. We're checking to see. Yeah, so we don't need the extra swap at that point, or switch rather. I'll take it. I will take it. Look at that, 3 less. Doing great on those cycles. I love seeing that. That makes me very happy. Well, beautiful. I mean, that concludes the disc 2. We are over, actually, we're about halfway through exactly, I would guess. I mean, I don't know what this is. If this is a whole new set of problems. But we finished disc 1, disc 2, and disc A. So, next time we come back, we'll be working on the latter half of this. Yeah, if you like the content, please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to put out videos pretty regularly with this, like every other weekday, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then, you know, once we finish this series, we'll move on to some other kind of programming game of some sorts. If you want to see me play regular video games, check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/CodeWonderland. But until next time, have a great day, everyone.